After being in business for over 10 years and seeing so many projects over that period of time, this right behind me has to be one of the worst ones I've ever seen. This is a brand new Jeep Wrangler right off the lot, and the original color of this is actually silver. I know it doesn't look silver, and that's because it has a color change paint protection film on it, which changes the entire color of this car to this beautiful baby blue color. But here's the kicker. If the install is not done correctly, it can turn into a huge problem. Now I wanna bring you in close. I wanna show you everything that I'm noticing, because this could easily turn into the most disastrous paint protection film install that I've ever seen. For those of you that do not know what color change paint protection film is, let me explain it super quickly before we get into this. Color change paint protection film is a very thick film that will change the color of your car, hence the name color change paint protection film. Now, the reason people get color change paint protection film is because it's super durable, it's super thick, it provides protection to your existing paint, and you get a 7 to 10 year warranty with a lot of the color change films, meaning that you don't have to replace it every year, 2 years, 3 years. Now, the thing with color change paint protection film is it's a lot harder to install than your traditional color change vinyl wrap. Because of this, you have to have a very skilled installer, and you have to disassemble the car, and you have to be very careful when you cut out this film. Now, if you want to see a color change paint protection film done correctly, go to our 911 Turbo S video, and that is a color change film that we did, and that's how you do it correctly. But now that I explained what color change paint protection film is, now we can get into why this is such a bad project. We'll start off with the front areas, but like I said, this is a film that will last 7 to 10 years, but it's supposed to be removable. With that being said, we'll start off here with the mirror caps. These mirror caps are actually painted. So this customer paid a ton of money, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I will tell you it's gonna be more than $12,000 that this customer paid to change the color of his Jeep. Now, Jeeps are not easy to do, and neither are these mirrors, but that doesn't mean that you should paint them and not let the customer know, because now this customer is stuck with painted mirrors. If he ever wanted to remove this film, he has blue mirrors for life. So the only way to go back is to repaint the mirrors. That's not good. You don't want to do that. All of this up here is going to be peeling. So you got peeling areas all over. Honestly, I don't even know where to start. This is just so bad. The hinges on this car are painted, which for Jeeps in particular, most people will paint hinges. These hinges are just very difficult to do. You can't really change the color of them, but you can see all of the silver all around these areas. This is an install that looks like they pre-cut it from a plotter. This is okay if it was clear film, not for color change film. Over here, if you come in close, we have an inlay. We call it an inlay. That is so that you don't see silver, but for whatever reason, they put an inlay down there. They had a big silver gap, and then they put another piece up here. It makes absolutely no sense on why they did this. Over here, you can see that there is a lot of pullback. This is what it looks like when you put too much tension on the film itself, and it starts pulling back. Now here, I actually want to show you, this car is silver. This car is a very nice silver. It's a brand new car, but because the install is so bad, I am very concerned that there's cut marks all into the paint. If there is cut marks all into the paint, then you could pretty much kiss that $12,000 plus goodbye, because not only was the install bad and you just wasted your money, but now you ended up with thousands and thousands of dollars worth of damage, probably a Carfax report, probably a lot of repainting, and the value of this just tanked. All of this back here, all these cuts, absolutely horrendous. All of this is peeling down here. I mean, dude, this is horrible. This is horrible. I mean, door handles, they actually vinyl wrapped, which vinyl wrap is a very thin film, but these guys didn't even know how to do that correctly. Like, it's bad. My grandmother can cut better than this. You got all of this in here, so inconsistent cuts. Whoever did this did not have a care in the world on how it looked like. They definitely never did color change paint protection film, because they have, I mean, parts going over other parts. These parts are painted. These parts are so difficult that they had to get them painted. Back here, I mean, dude, you got bubbles everywhere. You got just really ugly pieces meeting together. You got really crappy, they call it inlays, because this is a thick film, so it's hard to get into some of these pieces, but it should never, ever look like this. Like, this is just, it's bad. But they'll put an inlay here, but they didn't finish it. They didn't want to do any of this. But then they did this side, which is very interesting. And this side's done in 50 million pieces. Yeah, a couple inlays here. You have some pullback here. So this roof is very easy to do. Very easy to do. But if you look into this channel right here, it is so inconsistent. Nothing about this is professional. And right underneath the camera, we are actually missing a bunch of parts right there. Now let me tell you, I know the shop that did this, and it is an actual shop. It has 5-star reviews. Now this is definitely something that was out of their wheelhouse. This is why I tell customers all the time. I'm like, look, as good as we say we are, and I know we're freaking good, trust me. I'm a little biased, but I know we're good because we have the ability to do everything here. But I always tell customers, do not ever take my word for it. Come here in person, see the work for yourself, and judge me on my work. Judge me on the stuff that I will not tell you over the phone, because when you start looking at stuff like this, I could tell you all day, hey, your car's gonna come out amazing, you're gonna spend all this money, it's gonna be a beautiful product, and then you end up with a horrible installation like this. You got fenders that just, I mean, look at these cuts. These cuts are just horrible. This is the easiest thing to do. I mean, out of all the things on this car, if you're gonna cut this, at least make your cut straight. It's crazy. All of this up here, you just got lines everywhere, pieces. They call it a patch job. They call this a science project. All right, check that out. Check that out for yourself. For yourself. Holy shit. The film on this is not cheap either. This is like $3,000 in film. That's how expensive this film is. I mean, if you're gonna end up with this, I would tell you just save your money. I'm telling you, people spend a lot of money when it comes to color change paint protection film because it's so difficult, it's so time consuming, but you might ask yourself, why the hell would you ever spend your money on this? It's because this can give you a personalization and a color that you just cannot get from the manufacturer. Jeep themselves do not make baby blue. So a lot of people do color change paint protection film on new cars, but also slightly used cars because they just don't want to have to replace it every couple years. They want it to look exactly like paint, and it protects the paint underneath if the paint's in good condition. If the paint's not in good condition, the main thing is that they will get 7 to 10 years of life out of this stuff versus a traditional vinyl wrap, which just does not last long. But when it's done like this, I would tell you, by all means, save your money. I wouldn't even spend 500 bucks on this. Now that you can see how bad this is, we are about to become the doctors and the surgeons that are gonna fix this entire car, and this is gonna get broken up into a few different steps. One, we're gonna have to remove everything on this car and assess the damage. Second, we're gonna have to take this car apart. We're gonna have to take everything off. We're gonna have to take the bumpers, the fenders. There's a lot of parts that come off on this car, the door handles, the mirrors, stuff like that. Once it's all taken apart and all the film is removed and all the damage is assessed, then we're going to clean it. So we're gonna clay bar it, we're gonna wash it, we're gonna start from scratch. Now that we get back to our baseline, that's when we start the installation process, and we'll show you all of this so that you know how this gets done, why it costs what it costs, why it takes so long to do, why it's very difficult to do, and then the final outcome. And once you see the final outcome, you'll know why everyone comes to us, why we are the doctors and the surgeons when it comes to paint protection film, color change paint protection film, and window tinting.
All right guys, so we managed to take off all the old horrendous color PPF off the Jeep. Right now, I just finished taking off all the body panels just to make it more of a seamless install.
So we are in the process of pretty much finalizing everything that we did to it. So we got most of the film on to show you what it looks like now compared to what it looked like before. If you remember the grill before, it did not look like this. So this looks nice and beautiful. All the cuts here look good. Even underneath the hood right here, all of these cuts are very nice. So there's nothing hanging down everywhere. We make sure that everything got nicely cut and tucked. We got all of these pieces over here, and this car is not an easy car, but like all of this in here is all one piece so that it doesn't have all this messy crap going on. Around the hinges look nice and beautiful. All the corners look beautiful. Coming down to like the back sides of the doors, look, check this out. I remember that was a huge complaint that we had before. Looks amazing. So all of that's turned out great. As you can see, we don't have the flares on just yet. We actually have the fender flares right over here. So they're putting the flares back together. So we'll not get in their way too much, but the fender flares look amazing. So these got done pretty much in like one main piece. There's a couple pieces to it, but you can see all of this looks very nicely done. Everything came out amazing. They're just putting them back together. Once it gets put back together, they're gonna put it on the car, and we still have to double check it again to make sure anything that did pop up, that we assess it. We did have to replace some parts on here. I believe one hinge was completely stripped, so we had to replace a hinge, some bolts. Just whoever took this car apart before just didn't do a good job, so we had to fix a bunch of things. We had to realign a door on the other side because it was rubbing against the film. So we did that. We still have to do this roof piece, which is not too big. It's just this pillar on that side and a pillar on the other side. Come down to the back side. This looks freaking good. So check this out. All of this is done, very nicely done. All of these pieces look very seamless. This is the level of install that we expect here at Aesthetic Styling. This is why we get paid the big bucks. So if you're ever looking to get it done right and you get it done right the first time, let us know. You can see how we took off the taillight. So when we put it on, it kind of looks like that side. Pretty much this whole side's done. I mean, this was a pretty lengthy process. I think we've had this for about 10 days now, which that's lengthy for us. Normally we like to get cars out within 5 to 7 business days, but this one took a little bit longer just because one, it's color change film, but two, there's so many pieces to it. But as you can see, we have a huge team here that's pretty much specialized in every area. So we got our guys that know exactly what they're doing when it comes to taking apart cars, putting them together, our installers that know exactly how to do the install. So we are very, very specialized here. But that is pretty much where we're at with this. Once all of the car gets put back together, once everything gets double checked by our installers, then management will triple check it to make sure everything looks good. We might also, depending on how much time we have, we might let this sit outside for half a day just to see if anything does pop up. It's pretty much a settling period, just to make sure that when this customer gets it back, he's good to go, doesn't have to come back unless he wants to. So that is where we're at with this Jeep Wrangler. Everything's coming out amazing. We also added these nice little cute pink badges there. So we got some parts that got painted that the customer want painted. We're gonna get those put on the car, and then we'll touch base here soon. The Jeep Wrangler is finally done. So this is the final product on the color that we did for the Jeep Wrangler. Now, as you guys know, it came in the same color and it's leaving the same color, but there was a lot of work that had to get done in between. Now we pretty much redid everything, but we redid every single little piece on this. As before, the bumpers and whatnot were already painted, but when you come in close, we pretty much did everything on the grill. There's no bubbling, there's no horrible cuts. We showed you what underneath the hood looks like on how our cutting looks versus what it looked like before. All of these pieces came out absolutely amazing. Now these Jeeps, they are a ton of pieces, but we like to do them the correct way. These fender flares, before they had seams in them and now they're all one piece. We had to replace one of the hinges. I believe it was this hinge. We had to replace a hinge because the shop before stripped the bolt inside and completely messed up the entire hinge. So we had to get a new hinge replaced. We had to source the original body shop that painted these because they had the color code to it, send it to that body shop, get the hinge back, and then pretty much extract the bolt from there and put it back on. So everything's put back on correctly. We had the door handles painted in a gloss black. Before they were wrapped in like a satin black, but the customer wanted them painted. So we painted them in a gloss black, all the door hinges. We added this gloss black accent right here for two reasons. One, to match the gloss black door handles. Two, because we actually ran out of this blue color. This car took the entire roll, every single section of it. We probably have a couple little scraps left, but not much. Now, if you come back here, this is where it was very gnarly before. Back here, all of the cuts were absolutely horrendous. Everything looks perfect. These hinges were already painted, so all we had to do is pop them off, get everything wrapped, put them back on. but there is no bubbling, no peeling everywhere. This is literally how I'm in complete 180 on what this car came in looking like. You can even look at all of like the inner seams. Everything is nice and clean. No weird wiggly cuts, nothing like that. So, I mean, even on the back of the doors, everything is nicely done. So it came out perfect. This is what a color change is supposed to look like. We had to disassemble everything. We had to start from scratch and pretty much redo everything on this car. Customer's gonna come pick it up here shortly. So that is everything in a nutshell. I hope you guys enjoyed this entire process and what we do here at Aesthetic Styling to make sure that your car comes out exactly like this and to avoid situations like this client had gotten into before he came here. If you guys are looking to get something done, reach out to us here at Aesthetic Styling. We're in the Naperville, Illinois area, pretty much the Chicagoland area or the suburbs. If you guys want to ship your car out here and get something like this done, let us know and we could get this on your car. We could pretty much go through the entire process with you.